Let's freaking go! Welcome into another fun live stream where we're going to talk about anything and everything LSU football today. Obviously, it is recruiting week, which is what the staff is going to be focusing on over the next couple of days. But quite honestly, this has been the exact same week for the past decade plus. Since 2010, LSU and Alabama have had the same exact bye week before they play each other. It's a mutual respect for both teams. They want to make sure they are fully rested and ready to go. That is true since 2009. That was the last time both of these teams did not have the same bye week, where Alabama had a bye week before when we played them. Of course, that was the Patrick Peterson game. So obviously we have a lot to get to I say not a lot of time. We're going to be hanging out all night long. Let's go. What's up, Blake, Rick, LA Mom, Rick K, Skip, the Master. Tony, what's good? Zay, what's good? Hal, good to see you. I have a feeling. I don't know about you guys, but it's in my soul right now that Hal Jubin will join the PHL T-shirt club tonight. I feel like it is in his soul. I feel like there's been something whispering to him that he is joining the PHL T-shirt club. And for Hal tonight, here's what I'm going to do. A PHL favorite. If you join the PHL T-shirt club tonight, Hal, I'm going to send you one of my favorite Jeremy Hill autographs. This one is numbered. There's only 50 of these in existence, and we have exactly 50 viewers right now. This one will go to you, Hal, right here. This has Hal's name on it. I have a feeling he's going to join the PHL T-shirt club. Maybe it's Black OT. I have a feeling Zay might. Dexter, what's good? Jackson, what's good? If you've not joined the PHL T-shirt club yet, what are you doing with your life? Now, we have a lot to get to, okay? First thing, obviously, it is a recruiting week, right? And we did the recruiting breakdown yesterday of Christian Brathwaite committing to LSU. Obviously, that's really good. But LSU's got bigger fish to fry, obviously, with JAYDEN Toviano potentially out there. I think LSU is going to land that young man, but LSU also wants to try and land Desmond Ricks. The biggest recruiting story of the week was the 5-star corner Cormani McClain committing to Miami. So obviously Florida is going to turn up the heat on Desmond Ricks because they really wanted McClain. And a lot of people thought McClain was going to pick Florida. He ended up picking Miami. That has been happening quite a bit for Florida, whether it be Jaden Rashada or Javonte Citizen. So now it's going to be a very interesting next couple of weeks for the Desmond Ricks recruitment for LSU. So obviously, as far as recruiting is concerned, oh, look at you, Hal. There you go. All you got to do is shoot me a message at Power Hour LSU on Twitter or Instagram, or just Venmo, Cash App $40, and we will get in contact. There you go, Hal. Hal is joining the PHL T-shirt. Look at you, Hal. My goodness gracious. Patty. What's up, Paris? Good to see you. What's up, Mick? Creek. So, look, obviously in the title of the video, we're going to talk some Jayden Daniels tonight. We always talk Jayden Daniels. But the poll question is quite simple. Does LSU land a player from Texas A&M in the transfer portal this offseason? Obviously, a lot of you say yes. 97% of you. Wow, I should have picked a better poll. My goodness gracious. That is quite amazing. So, something else I'll mention, and I brought this up in our private Discord, patreon.com/LSU football. It is interesting as we go through this next 2-week period about, Texas A&M and Auburn falling apart. I thought this was going to happen. I have receipts. Go to Power Hour SEC, go to any one of my live streams. Those were the two teams that I said are way overvalued. Right now, Auburn had 6 wins as their win total. I just thought they were a bad team. And look, they're honestly, playing a little bit better than I thought they'd play over the last couple of weeks, but they aren't a good team. And obviously, you see Texas A&M, they are the worst team in the SEC West right now, and I'm not sure if it's close. So, for me, when I look at what's happened at Texas A&M, also something else here, the free Power Hour LSU podcast, I did an episode on this 2 weeks ago. The good news is Brian Kelly will not be Jimbo Fisher for this reason, okay? The issue that Jimbo Fisher had was he was trying to do too much. And I think in the modern day Power 5 head coaching job at a major university, you're going to run into issues if you are the head coach and the primary play caller, right? And look, Billy Napier is still very young. Actually, I think Billy's done a really good job, a lot better job with this offense than I thought he would. Florida is one of the best explosive play offenses in the country. But I do think at some point, if you are the offensive play caller, you have one of the top 2 or 3 things you need to succeed in the modern game, which is a good play caller, right? I just think the head coach can't do it. I really do think that, unless you are truly elite at it. And I think Jimbo is not elite at it. But Jimbo's elite at everything else. So I will say this as far as Texas A&M is concerned. I don't think it's over for them. I don't think that they should fire Jimbo Fisher. They can't. You could be the richest person on earth. It's hard to just come up with $80 million just for him to walk. And it's all guaranteed. What you have to do, and Jimbo has to do this, is just hire a play caller. Anybody, honestly. They got enough talent to make it work. Until they do that, they're not going to go anywhere. That is what they're going to do, though, this offseason. So a few things as far as like the Texas A&M players are concerned. I do think A&M is not just dead, right? But I do think with all the name, image, and likeness stuff and the recruiting class that they brought in, the cart was before the horse, and the big problem that needed to get fixed did not get fixed. And I don't know how many times I said this offseason, Jimbo cannot call plays, and in particular, he is really bad on the road. So, all those things really began to fall on its face in College Station. So yeah. Now we get to this question. I don't want any prima donnas. This goes to another podcast episode that was released earlier today. LSU's winning, right? LSU's winning. I'm going to look at you right now. I'm going to look at everybody watching this. I don't know where I'm supposed to look. I got the fancy camera back set up. Should I look right here to where it looks like I'm looking straight into the camera? Yeah, let's look right here. Actually, it should be right here. Yeah, right there. Or right there. No, right here. Okay, good. If you win, players buy in. Okay? You hear it all the time. This coach needs to build a culture. You got to allow him to build his culture. BS. BS. It's all a bunch of bunk. Sure, build good culture. But I'm telling you right now, if you win, players buy in. If you don't, players won't. It's that simple. It's that simple. These Brian Kelly clips that you see speaking to the team after games, they sound great because we freaking won. If we didn't win, they don't sound as great. Win. Brian Kelly's winning. Okay? He's winning. Good evening to all. Good to see you, Daniel. Obviously, a lot of people want Jacoby Matthews back. Very interesting. Because when I brought that up, before the season began, a lot of you say good riddance. If you say no to us once, we don't want you now. Please. A top 100 DB. Are you kidding me? You're going to say no to that? I take a top 100 DB any day of the week. Larry, take it. Use it. Just remember where it started, because it started right here. If you win, players buy in. That's the easiest way to build culture. Win football games. Win them. It is amazing what that does. Well, Ed Orgeron lost the culture at LSU. And truth be told, a big reason why we started losing games is because we did lose focus on those championship behind-the-scenes things. Don't get it twisted. But if Coach O was still winning games, he would still be there. He would still be there. Okay? If you win, players buy in. Very excited tomorrow. I get to see my auntie, Lemony Twang. Also, before the live stream, I had a good 15, 20-minute conversation with Blake. As many of you know, one of my best buddies. Really happy for his big news and having another baby. That obviously is, more important than anything, honestly. Really excited about that. It's one of my best buddies. So there he is. What's up, Roger Dodger? I've been missing you, man. Aggies share a $90 million, billion dollars endowment. It might look bad, but the Aggies have that in their watch pocket. They do. They could pay it. They could pay it, but I just don't think that they will. Right? What I think they should do is have a come to Jesus with Jimbo. And honestly, they should have done this before the season began. But look, Jimbo's got leverage when he's making that much money as well. So there you go. So I know we're going to get a lot of Texas A&M super chats tonight. Maybe I get enough super chats I could pay Jimbo's buyout and he could go be an offensive analyst for us. Kidding. But yeah. Let's go. Jackson, I think they could come up with it, though. I do. Edgerrin Cooper, that's a deep cut. I think he'd probably go to the NFL before he came to LSU. He's a good player. Well, actually, I haven't watched him a whole lot this year. You let me know if he's good. I know there's still a lot of people not happy that, LSU could have done more to get him. Pegasus, good to see you. Chance, good to see you. What's up, Ed? Can anyone blame Ricks for leaving? That's like blaming your wife for leaving a house with no roof. I don't think it's, if you're mentioning Elias Ricks here, I don't think it's that he left. It's where he went, right? I don't think anybody here would have cared, even if he would have gone to Florida, if you will. You don't go to Alabama, Yeah. Now, I want to talk about some other things tonight other than just Texas A&M. Should Brian Kelly want Texas A&M transfers? Yes, because he's winning, right? Now, there are a few things that make me go, do I really want this here? Including, thank you so much. 6 likes. PHL famous, stronger than that. Likes are free. Let's go. Thank you so much, Black OT, for your super chat. I really appreciate you. So yeah, like the video. I think we're over 6 likes. Sometimes you have to refresh it. I'm not able to see the likes because I use the StreamYard software. But yeah, like the video, share the video, tell people about, the channel. I know it's Thursday and, Lamar and Tom Brady are on and, college football's on. It is a little bit more competitive. But yeah, normally a 100 person one, I like it. It's a little more intimate. So there you go. Let's go to Daniels. Thank you so much, Daniel, for your generous super chat. I appreciate it. You and Black OT, I really appreciate you too. Where are we with Harbor? Because he is this class's version of Perkins. Last heard it's us or Michigan. I look, I will say this, Daniel. Like for me, Nicholas Harbor is really, really, really good. But as many of you know, I had like just this ungodly grade on Harold Perkins coming out. So I don't want to, put Nicholas Harbor in that same sentence just yet. But athletically, just by pure measurables, he's better than anybody, honestly, any prospect. If you're that big and you run a 10.28 in the 100-meter, it's crazy. Like, for instance, like LSU's got Jaylen Brown committed, a wide receiver. He is 10.66 in the 100-meter, and he's 5'10", 5'11". Nicholas Harbor is like, what, 6'4", 6'5"? He runs a 10.28. He is truly a one of the freakish athletes to ever come out. Like, they're already talking about him the same way that they talk about Clowney and Fournette, like the all-time, great recruits. Now, ironically, he's not as highly rated as those guys are, which is a little interesting to me. And he is a 5-star, like top 15 rated prospect. But, Nicholas Harbor is special. He's really, really, really special. Now, he's a very fascinating guy, too, out of the D.C. area. He was supposed to go to the Tennessee visit, LSU Tennessee game. Couldn't go. They had a game on Saturday or something like that. But LSU is still in it. Obviously, there are snaps there for tight end play, right? But it just depends what position he wants to play. If he wants to play defensive end, if he wants to play edge, he can do that. If he wants to play tight end, he can do that. So yeah, I do think, just based on the little bit of research I've done, Michigan is leading, but this is one of those cases where, number one, I don't have any insight. So I shared in a podcast episode recently, I was able to get some insight on Harold Perkins just because of some of the videos I did. And when he committed to Texas A&M, I was heard that LSU was still in it. This is one of those cases where, the only thing you can really hope for is just him being able to get on campus before he has to make a decision. Obviously he's the number one uncommitted guy now, especially with McClain just out. So yeah, I think for me, I'm crossing my fingers on this. He is kind of the Harold Perkins of this class in that nobody really knows what his best position is. And, he is kind of labeled as, well, we're going to label him as an edge, but he could play offense. So we'll see. All right. Tackett Curtis. He's playing tonight, actually. Him and Singleton. Honestly, you should be worried about Singleton more than you. Tackett Curtis is not going to flip to LSU. Okay. Bruce wants us to play some penny defense. I like that, man. People have different terms for this defense right here, the 5-1-5. I do think the Eagles call it penny, right? I think you will see some of this. I do. I really do. But yeah, I wouldn't Oh, I wouldn't get your hopes up about Tackett Curtis. Huh? Huh? Ah. What's up, Prez? Good to see you. LSU track program better than Michigan. Yeah, I thought Trenton was like 10.01. As great as Nicholas Harbor is, I have a tough time believing he is faster than Trenton Holiday. Right? Trenton Holiday is like one of one when it comes to just speed. Honestly, just in general. Um, I'm still early in my eval Pegasus of them. You guys know this, right? Like, I'm not going to say somebody is just special just because they have a 5-star rating. I will say though, like, you don't need my stamp of approval to go after a 5-star kid. So if you're a 5-star kid, you're more than likely a good player, right? The history shows you have a higher chance of being an NFL draft pick, you have a higher chance of being a good player. So, like for me, like I know like On Three does the 5-star consensus. I like when I look at a 5-star, there are some players that get, like a higher grade than a 5-star. Like for me, on my grades for the 2022 class, and I brought this up a few times, but Emory Jones was a slightly higher graded prospect for me than Will Campbell. But they are both like really good. Like it wasn't like I just liked Emory Jones just a little bit better. But I mean, they both were just phenomenal prospects. Harold Perkins was on like a different stratosphere than everybody in 2022. Um, Walter Nolan, anybody, right? So, as far as like 2023, I let it be known like I'm biased towards the DJ Hicks kid. I know his dad, so he went to Texas A&M. And I'm going to pull for him, right? So I obviously think he's great. I would like to see him play for LSU. He did camp at LSU, but he's committed to A&M. A lot of people thought he'd go to Oklahoma. So, take him out, right? Kind of hard to have a true eval on him with that. And his dad's a phenomenal guy. Um, as far as like 2023s are concerned, I wait till like, their senior tapes are done. And then like I go through and I'm like, okay, I really like this guy, really like this guy, really like this guy. And for me, like I think like Shelton Sampson is like super special. I really do think so. And it's not a Catholic high thing. It's not any of that. I just think Sampson is really good, right? I'm not just saying that because Emory Jones and whatnot. I do have family that went to Catholic high. I didn't, but I think Shelton is truly special. I also am a little bit higher on Darren Reed than most. The defensive lineman that LSU has committed out of Georgia. And I'm also a big fan of Kyle Parker, the wide receiver that they have committed. So those three are guys that I think are like really special. Now, I think Sampson's like a 5-star talent, but I think those two guys are underrated. I also think Caleb Jackson is very underrated. So like as far as like Desmond Ricks is concerned, do I think Desmond Ricks is good? Yeah. Like if you're Stingley and Surtain level, that means you are bona fide day one. I put you on the field. You're ready to start right now. Good. Like you're on the Harold Perkins, bona fide Patrick Peterson type of scale. And honestly, it's not anything against Desmond Ricks. It's just like I have to be certain that you're going to be that. And honestly, you're never certain if anybody's going to be that. And I've missed on some people. We all have, right? So obviously, I'm still early. I can't say yes or no to this question now, but I do think, anytime you get a 5-star corner, you got to go get it. Okay. I didn't know this. John Sibley's mind is just crazy. Warden Manuel is the athletic director at Michigan and went to Brother Martin. Loves track. I did not know that. I'm crushing the Tom Brady ratings. Let's go. Roger, I think a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of transfers come in. You might not see what you've seen this past year, but I do think Brian Kelly is very aggressive in the portal, especially at defensive back. I think he's going to have to be. And I think a lot of people want to play DB at LSU for obvious reasons. So yeah. But honestly, some of it, Roger's going to come down to, who stays and who goes, right? Mekhi Gardner's got a decision. He's going to go. So we shall see. Yeah, I think Sampson's ready to play Division I football right now. I think so. Rigo says, I don't think our DBs tackle well enough to run Penny. I think if you run it a few times, it'll get him fooled a little bit. Here's why I don't want to run Penny, though, against Alabama is Jahmyr Gibbs. Hey, buds. I will say this, I think. Hey, dinner. Let me see. How they cook? You did Purpy? There you go. It looked good.
Come on, see baby.
Get the baby. She's out. Go.
Come on, Mom. Let's go get you. Come on, let's get you. Come
on. You are what you say you are, and what's that? A superstar. Jacoby Wiggins, what's up? Chris 606. Skipper, get the Wi-Fi fixed. My goodness. BC, what a do, baby. 14 personnel. What you know about it? But yeah, I think Sheldon's going to play next year. Now, it's going to be a log jam. I don't know where he's going to play or how he's going to play, but I think he's going to play. Somebody looked this up for me for Eric. How many times LSU and Michigan have played, if they've ever played? I couldn't tell you. I'm not in the modern era, I could tell you that. But pre-2000, maybe they have. So I'll talk something about Jayden Daniels tonight. I've been getting a lot of – this is the number one question I get about Jayden Daniels, right? Will he come back next year? And will – I obviously try my best to answer that. But, I like to focus in on the present, right? I like to live in the present, right? We're going to have plenty of time to discuss if Jayden Daniels wants to come back or not. What I can tell you, though, is at quarterback, it's going to be tough for him to have NFL draft scouts salivating over him, right? So, it's either try your best at the NFL or come back. So that's the number one question I'm getting privately. And look, I am more impressed that he's doing what he's doing now. It's hard to be Jayden Daniels. It is. I'm being honest. And look, he's probably getting taken care of, to transfer from LSU, from where he was to here with name, image, or likeness. So, I can't say how much money he's actually making now. But the truth is, this has been difficult for him, right? He's heard a lot of criticisms, right? Some of which will probably come from me. Young man who's been through a lot these last couple of years, some tragedy and even though he doesn't throw the prettiest ball, and even though he'll miss throws, I'm glad as heck he's our quarterback for this reason. I know when it's time to play, 5 is going to be boots on the ground and ready to go. And that's what I love about him. There's something to be said about being available. And it's even more impressive knowing the style of play that he actually plays. He is truly a transcendent, not good, not great, transcendent runner of the football in his hands. When he scrambles, he is as good as you will see at the collegiate level. He really is. Like, there's Lamar, there's Vic, and probably 5 to 10 more famous runners, and then Jayden is probably in that next tier of the truly great runners with the football in his hands. Okay, so I am thrilled that this young man is our quarterback. Yes, I will criticize him missing throws, but gosh darn it, if he is your quarterback, you have a chance to win every game. He's not going to throw the game away. And by God, the players love him. So whether or not he comes back next year, all I'm doing is appreciating what we have in the present. And what we have right now is truly something special. Okay? Thank you, Lyra Guru. I'll let Blake know you said that. Mike, thank you so much. Really appreciate the super chat here. With Death Valley being in rarefied form versus Bama, are there any recruits you know that are visiting that are leaning elsewhere that LSU could flip with the rabid atmosphere? So obviously, like a full visitors list hasn't been released just yet. Obviously, I actually spoke with Tavian Galloway on Twitter. I wish he was coming. Pause. But obviously, the very talented tight end prospect for 2024 that's committed to LSU. Obviously, the list is going to be vast. As far as like flipping or is concerned, I don't know. But we'll see what that full visitor list actually looks like. What I can tell you, though, Mike, the top 100 players to keep an eye out for that LSU's after. We talked about 3 yesterday. DJ Chester is somebody else. Don't forget about him as far as an offensive lineman is concerned. And, look, part of this game, being at night is friends of friends are going to tell other recruits, hey, you should have been there. Hey, you want to be a part of this. So we shall see. Okay. Thank you so much, Mike, for the super chat. I don't have a visitor list. I don't. So we'll probably know more by Monday or Tuesday. Now, if somebody here has a visitor list, feel free to share. Mike, I'm going to be honest with you as far as my recruiting coverage is concerned. I try not to keep up with the day-to-day for like which recruit is going to visit here or there for this reason. And one, I think it's kind of strange. Number 2, I also think it's very fluid, right? Things pop up, especially if it's an unofficial visit and it's an out-of-pocket expense. It obviously changes. So it's different. Okay? Exactly. Jared, good to see you. Why doesn't Wiggins get more playing time? He hadn't really been dressing out, so he's probably not healthy. But honestly, Jared, this is a simple truth, simple question I want to ask you. Who on the defensive line are you taking off the field right now? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The second half defensive line performance versus Ole Miss was a vintage 03, 011 type of defensive line dominant performance. They whipped their peach emojis. It wasn't even close. So look, I don't care if freaking Michael Brockers are standing on the sideline. I don't know who I'm taking off the field for Michael Brockers, knowing how good our DTs and defensive linemen played. And that's nothing against Michael Brockers. Obviously, he's one of the best out there, played LSU. But Mekhi Wingo's playing amazing. Jacqueline Roy's playing amazing. Jacoby and Guillory had some flat out amazing snaps. And Ali Gay played his best game of the year. So, I don't know if Wiggins is healthy, and I don't know if he's ready just yet, right? So yeah, I think it's honestly kind of good though, because look, obviously you would prefer to not play true freshmen, but if the true freshmen are good enough, they'll play. Jayden misses Kayshawn on purpose. It's as clear as day. Welcome to the channel, Obo. LSU versus Alabama game started out today. They had one ticket, 10 rows from the field for $5,000. Yeah, don't pay that. So yeah. But honestly, with any defensive player, with the way our defense is playing, I don't know if I want, anybody to leave. Right. But Mike, thank you for this very generous super chat. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate your friendship, man. Aaron, good to see you. What's the chances we beat Alabama? Jayden has another 5 TD game. The second part is probably a little bit more likely than you would like to think, knowing Alabama's defense. And yes, they did just shut out Mississippi State, but I cannot state this enough. Mississippi State has the worst collection of skill guys I think I've ever seen in the SEC. They can't get open. They cannot get open. And they drop a lot of passes. Not a lot passes. So 5 TDs in a game as good as Ole Miss? Probably not. But I do think LSU is going to move the football some. What's the chances we beat Alabama? So, Aaron, more than likely, we're going to get a point spread on Sunday after the game. So probably are some out there right now. Could actually take a look. I've actually not started my Alabama eval. Been doing some recruiting stuff. Let's see if we got a point spread. LSU, Alabama. Let me see if I can find an early line. Okay. According to DraftKings, 16.5 in favor of Alabama. Okay. Action Network, 16.5 in favor of Alabama. A little high, if you ask me. Yeah. A little high. Obviously 16.5 is actually a key number. So obviously you'd want to get it at 17 or 17.5, but that's a large number. Crazy. Now, I said earlier in the week, I thought it was going to be like 10.5, 11.5, 16.5. Interesting. So, I'm going to be honest with you. I doubt that number stays there. So, if you do like LSU, you're getting 2 possessions there and some change. Honestly, again, 3 possessions. 6.5 would be pretty drastic. That'd be pretty drastic. But Aaron, the chances LSU beats Alabama. So you're telling me there's a chance? No, there is a chance. There is a chance. Obviously, let's go position by position, right? That's one very simplified way of looking at it. Quarterback, who has the advantage? As much as we love JAYDEN, Alabama's got a clear advantage there. Wide receiver, who has the advantage? Well, I think that's pretty clear. LSU does. Tight end, kind of factor that in with the receivers. Mason Taylor played his best game, but Latu for them is a really good tight end. Offensive line, they have the advantage. Running back, let's be honest, they have the advantage here. Okay? Defensive line. Depends on what you classify as defensive line. Pretty even, right? It's honestly pretty even this year. Normally that's in favor of Alabama, but it's pretty even. Okay. With the way Harold Perkins is playing right now, yeah, I would say it's pretty even. Linebacker, they're better, but I don't think it's a wide margin. And then defensive back, it's pretty even. You do have to get Bama the edge in the secondary, and you do have to get the Bama. Bama's made special teams errors as well. So, honestly, if you go position group by position group, it doesn't look like it's that big of a difference. But then again, we'll see. This has always been a difficult spot, though, for Coach Kelly. It just has been historically. Ole Miss game, is Ole Miss, your traditional top 10 team? Let's be honest, Ole Miss was kind of fraudy as a top 10 team, knowing how soft their schedule had been. It'd been the softest schedule I've ever seen in the SEC West. So this would be, obviously, I do think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Brian, right? For 2 weeks, these last 2 weeks, he's been the best coach in the SEC, just based on how dominant LSU has been offensively and changing things from the Tennessee game. So we'll see. Grant believes it is a 50-50 game. LSU will beat Bama or they won't. It's a good way to look at it. But yeah, I do think it's closer. I still like Alabama in this spot. We'll see. I don't think Alabama looks like the juggernaut that they've been. That's true. I think this will be a good game as long as we don't get behind like we did against Tennessee. Yeah, Aaron, and I also think one more thing that is very key to keep in mind that I do think benefits LSU in this matchup, and it's quietly hurt Coach Saban in spots. So let's just say you're a neutral viewer. Okay, let's just say you're neutral and you're watching me right now, and you see all the LSU stuff. And look, I get it. This would be something to keep in mind, though. Let's just say Alabama blows the brakes off of LSU, and they're blowing us out, and it's 28-7 or something like that. Well, Nick Saban is conservative, right? He, on 4th and short, he's going to punt the football and play defense. which, he is not an aggressive fourth down coach. So, truth be told, that heavily, and I mean heavily, benefits LSU. Now, why is that the case? Well, it's simple. Brian Kelly is an aggressive, analytic-minded coach. Now, if I were an analyst or an advisor to Brian Kelly, give me some clap emojis for the great John Sibley Butler. Thank you so much. Your knowledge has obviously taken our channel to the next level. I didn't know that about the Michigan AD a minute ago. I have a feeling that Tennessee will be defeated and LSU wins. Oh, John Sibley wants to talk Kentucky, Tennessee, right? It's very interesting because Kentucky is a methodical team. Look, Mark Stoops brought this up, that they are methodical in everything that they do. And part of why I didn't want Brad White to be the defensive coordinator for LSU is that he is very methodical. And Tennessee destroyed them. Well, truth be told, Tennessee destroyed our guy, Matt House, this year. Tennessee destroys everybody. Kentucky does have their quarterback bad, and Will Levis has been amazing this year for Kentucky. And they ask him to do a lot. They do have one of the best running backs in the SEC, but their offensive line has been very shaky. Losing Dare Rosenthal and those guys last year really hurt them. Bama should have 3 losses. Very interesting. Will Bama lose another game? Oh, should have 3 losses from your Texas Longhorns. I agree. Obviously, Texas having Gary Patterson as an analyst is honestly unfair. Gary Patterson is, ask most college defensive coordinators, they'll say Gary Patterson is, one of the GOATs. So having him as an analyst, and he solely worked on that Alabama game for months, obviously made a big difference. Bama's DBs can be had. I agree with this. Obviously, it is amazing and it is poetic that Elias Ricks finally got to play versus Mississippi State, and he will be playing a lot versus LSU with Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's still the best name ever. BK has high school talent at Notre Dame that could not make my church league team. So, yeah, LSU's got more talent than most of the teams Brian Kelly had at Notre Dame. My thing, though, is, and look, I love Coach Kelly. He'll tell you that he would have liked to have been more competitive in those games versus Alabama. And, this is one of those games where, yes, you don't have to, you can come back from any deficit. We saw Arkansas almost come back from 28-7 down. You would like to start faster. I would like to see a fast start. Okay. So we'll see. Bama's DBs can be had. BK had the talent. All that down. Bama's O-line isn't great. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, look, is he going to have a chip on his shoulder? Yeah. And this will be brought up. When Brian Kelly took the job, he reached out to Nick Saban for advice. Very interesting. But yes, we probably do need to get off to a faster start. Bama's DBs can get beat, though. They can. So, yeah. I do think LSU, formationally, should not do traditional splits every time. Do some wide splits, even though it's not really you like Tennessee. But I would like LSU. This worked versus Alabama in 2019. And I know I'm going to get this comment 1,000 times. It's not 2019. Don't bring it up, whatever. But this did work. Our bunch sets gave them fits. Okay. So, yeah. Aaron, thank you so much for all your super chats, and I really appreciate your energy, man. I just want us to be in it, but Will Anderson is a beast, and Bryce is calm in the pocket, so we need to be on point in our secondary, absolutely. Okay? So, yeah, Will Anderson is a monster, okay? Bryce is calm in the pocket, so we need to be on point in our secondary. New poll question is up. This game comes down to LSU running the football. Strongly disagree. Obviously, you would like LSU to run the football, but, it's not the only thing. Obviously, it helps you out, but when it comes to running the football, they ran for only 6 yards on us last year, and we actually did establish a run. We just didn't hit explosive plays. They did. But, yeah, if we do run the football, it will help our opportunities and our chance to win, okay? I have to get pressure on Bryce. But, Aaron, I do think what happened last week should give you more hope as far as like blocking Will Anderson, right? We did a lot of chips to help out Emory Jones. We did a lot of chips to help out Will Campbell. So that obviously is really, really, really good. Okay. It is very satisfying. Good to see you, Roger. It's been a while, man. Steven. That's cool. Matt House is in Texas right now with Ryan Yates. It's obviously really cool. Rush lane integrity. There you go. Bryce can also be tough to sack, too, when you actually get back there. He's very tricky. He's got a lot of guile. Yeah, he did steal some. He has stolen some souls this year. He's missed a few blocks as well. So yeah. Take a look at the poll question. LSU winning the poll early. Oh, that's cool. Huh? Yeah, you want me to show this Master Blaster? So Tony did a Halloween yard contest. Look at that thing. Just trying to get it focused. Look at that. Huh? Congratulations, Tony. That's his first place thing right there. Congratulations. Oh, Parker. Dear Lord. First off, this is kind of a strange bet to make with the barber, right? If LSU wins, he has to wear an LSU cap for the rest of the year. For the rest of the year, that's bold, Parker. That is bold. Very bold. Now, you know what else is bold? And speaking of bold, there is something very bold. And it's not really a bold, decision in the grand scheme of things. I think Chance knows. I think LA Mom knows about when it comes to boldness. You got it. You guys know, right? I know the comments are the true PHLers know. Branson Cat is our Pressy Collection winner. Pressy Collection at PressyCollection.com. Now, I feel bad for all of you that miss Anthony Starr Presley's really fun interview on Tuesday with yours truly. We've already gotten a few one-on-one consultations set up. Pressy Collection, PressyCollection.com. That's all you got to do for your next jewelry, whether it be necklace, diamond rings, whatever it may be. I am not a jewelry expert, but obviously I got engaged, getting ready to get married here in the next few months. You're getting a lot of jewelry, right? A lot of people like to buy online. Okay, do that. But you're just buying something online, right? That's not what you want to do, right? Things that I buy online is like puppy piddle pads, right? How about you get a one-on-one consultation with someone like Anthony Starr Presley? He'll Zoom call you and make sure all your needs are taken care of when it comes to anything jewelry. And when I mean anything, I mean anything. Anthony Starr Presley and the PressyCollection.com. Hey, there's Tyler right there. Good to see you. You moved to Nashville. Nashville. Congrats. Oh, Jacob, you were close. You were close, Jacob. Bama has Bryce enough said. And he's really good. We got Jayden Mother effing Daniels. How about that? Master Blaster Coffee. There's a Master Blaster Coffee. Just moved to Nashville. His defenses can be had. All right, Aaron. Love it. Honestly, A&M, Miami, it's feeling good about life. They are, Hal. So what Hal is referencing here is there is still a lot of Tennessee fans that think I'm an Alabama fan for a video I released on Power Hour SEC earlier this week. And it is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I just want this to be clear. Just because you point out something doesn't mean you have an agenda, doesn't mean you're a fan of any team. I did a video on how weird Tennessee's final kick was versus Alabama. Looked like there was a false start. Looked like it was tipped. That was the main reason I did the video. I didn't think it'd blow up. Okay. it has gotten 60,000 views. All right, which is a lot for me. A lot. And everybody thinks I'm a Bama fan doing the video. Even though in the video, as Hal can attest, I say, hey, I'm an LSU fan and I wanted Tennessee to win. I just found this kick to be interesting. And everybody kept making the same point. Well, there was 1,000 other calls in the game, which I said in the video, but a lot of Tennessee fans have been attacking me. It's a life. Everybody thinks I am an Alabama fan. When my last video on that channel was me calling Nick Saban rat poison. I do want to shout out. I'm looking at you. Marine joined the PHL T-shirt club. There you go. I love it. Lots of Marines watch our channel. I love it. Mr. Go Tigers, thank you so much for your super chat thoughts on Matt House versus Bill O'Brien. Matt House has proven to be great at mid-game adjustments. Yeah, for me, Mr. Go Tigers, obviously, Nick's had really good offensive play callers, one of them being Doug Nussmeier. But obviously, he's had Lane, he's had, Sark, who was probably his best. I would say Sark's offense was his best. But, Bill O'Brien, there's been mixed reviews on his offensive performance. Obviously, Bryce Young, makes a lot of offenses look good. I will say that, his offense is a little bit more pro-style-y, as a lot of you would probably guess. But this is not your typical loaded Bama receiving group. It's just the simple truth. So what I would do, Mr. Go Tigers, is honestly challenge the Alabama receivers to beat us over the top. Now, that seems a little sacrilegious because, well, we've been getting beat over the top lately, right? We have been gotten in the last couple of weeks. It has not been the best few weeks for the LSU secondary outside of, this last second half. We have regressed in some areas, including tackling. What I think Bama's going to think we're going to do is play off of them, which we are probably going to do some. But I think two things can happen here. The first is I believe LSU should play a little bit more press man than they've been playing. And something else I would do, and it's scary, and it's something that you really, if you're going to do it, you got to just do it. We've not shown a lot of zero, right? I would zero blitz them. I would. It worked really well last year. We've got the athletes to do it. Now, obviously, if we're getting home with 4, we don't need to zero. But I would do some zero. I would. Like, I would have our defense rap in the Mo City Don. Now, maybe 10 to 15% of my audience got that reference. I'm like a ghetto pot pie, but I don't need spinach. Ooh. Man, I'm like Lennox, strong to the finish. I'm like a ghetto Popeye, but I don't need spinach. Name another rapper that put Kelvin Cato in a song. I would do just that. And Major Burns is back. Very interesting. Joe Fouché had his best game last game. And I'm not just saying because of the interception. He did play well. What's up? $18-year-old Lawrence Taylor. HP 40 gonna eat. What's up, Nolan Leanders? I love it. So Jordan Allen. I know he spelled Allan, but obviously LSU's got a Jordan Allen on the team now. And who remembers former West Monroe defensive end Jordan Allen from the early 2000s or early 2010s? Transferred to Arizona, but he was a decent player. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We brought this up in our private PHL Discord, right? Patreon.com/LSU football is where you can join. Okay. $16.5, the point spread, as Max brings up here. Can't start slow against Roll Tide. What FU? Think we'll lose, but 16.5 is too high. And F, no, not the ones that have been suspended. Shamar, though. Shamar Stewart. I like the gold teeth. Huh? He did tweet out today, though, that he's pretty happy at Texas A&M. I don't know. Maybe they re-upped his contract. But no, Shamar's a good player. I'd love to have him on our defensive line. He's played a lot for them this year. Kid's an athlete. Thank you. I knew you got it. I as you guys know, I'm not a big music guy, but that song is art. It's a legendary song. Rogers going? My friend snagged West upper deck tickets. I'm so hyped to hear that stadium on Full Throat. Full Throat. Oh, man. Man, I'm like Linux. I'm strong to the finish. That is so beautiful. I do agree, Max. Now, oh, so you played football at Catholic as a defensive end, and we played West Monroe also through discus against her. Oh, so your name was Jordan Allen. Oh, that's so cool. Huh? That's funny. Here's a good question here from Jared, right? And I'm going to say no, right? So Alabama fans travel well, right? And when you win as much as they do, and look, they're like us. They're a football program, and their fans love their team, okay? I'm going to say no because Alabama fans save up their money to go to the SEC championship game, and they save up their money for postseason stuff. The Tennessee game was different because obviously you only play that game once every 12 years in Tiger Stadium. So, yes, Bama fans are going to travel, but also a lot of LSU fans aren't going to sell their tickets just because earlier in the year they sold their Tennessee tickets so they can go to the Bama game for free, if that makes sense, right? Now, obviously, there's going to be some Alabama fans traveling, and LSU fans are going to see the price go up and the money just be too good. Totally get it. But they won't travel as well as Tennessee, no. And that's not me knocking Alabama fans. It's just If you're a Tennessee fan, you get this game once every 12 years, right? So, yeah. This could be a big BTJ game, though, right? Because this is going to sound very conceptual here, but the one thing about Brian Thomas Jr.'s catches is a lot of what he does is one-on-one kind of stuff, right? Like if you're catching a jump ball is translatable against any defense, right? Like a lot of the plays he's made, whether it be actual catches or pass interference penalties drawn, it's translatable. You just got to give him a chance. You just do, right? Has Law played some this year? Rick's gonna need a Frank. Huh? I do you think Elias Ricks is gonna get booed? I'm telling you, if an LSU receiver, especially if it's like Kayshawn, makes a catch on Elias Ricks, if I'm Elias Ricks, I don't know. I had a dream that Kayshawn did do the Jamar Chase to Trevon Diggs catch. Oh, come on, PMAC. I want to block you for that. BTJ reminds me of Julio. You could have picked any receiver. You could have picked Calvin Johnson. You could have picked Art Monk. You could have picked anybody. Did you pick Julio? I'm just kidding. Julio's playing right now. I'm fine with Julio. I got nothing against Julio. Hey, Julio didn't hurt us too bad because we had Patrick Peterson outside of that one touchdown, but it's because PP7 got hurt on that play or on the play before, and they took him out and went after it. That was such a legendary matchup, though. Julio got hurt. I saw him playing earlier. I was like the score. It is insane how good Lamar Jackson is. Like it is freaking insane how good this guy is. Like I'm very lucky to witness him, and I'm still to this day very happy. Like I'm lucky to have gone to a lot of games with my dad. I got to go to all 4 of the LSU national championship games with my dad. Been to a lot of Pelicans games with my dad. One of my favorite trips when it was announced that LSU was going to play in the bowl game versus Lamar Jackson in Orlando. I was like, Dad, we got to go. Got to go see Lamar. I just love me some Lamar freaking Jackson, man. And now he's in the same division as Joe Burrow, and we're going to get to see those two play each other for the next 7 to 10 years, if not longer. We are so spoiled, man, to get to witness this guy. And I know, he plays for Louisville. Lamar is that dude, man. Exactly. So we could say we shut down Lamar Jackson. So shout out to Dave Aranda. Shout out to Duke Riley. Shout out to Donnie Alexander. Shout out to Arden Key. Freaking Jamal Adams. Dante Jackson. We should have won more games with that team. But yeah. Tony. Okay, I was hoping Tony would show up. Tony sent me this shirt. What, 3 years ago? I still got it. It's one of my favorite shirts. But to this day, we shut down Lamar Jackson. That's an all-time favorite bowl win for me. Just guys being dudes. Huh? Ah. Geis was on that team. That was the first birthday you had after starting PHL. God, I remember Tony's been with me for a while. I really appreciate that. I can't wait to actually meet you, Tony. Oh wow. No wonder Parker did that Bama bet. My birthday is next Thursday, and I get my license. And if LSU takes a W against Bama, that would top off my B-Day weekend forever. Your license. It's interesting. Congrats on that. Don't drive and text, or text and drive. Wait, so Patrick Peterson intercepted the ball. I was in the elephant room with former Bama quarterback Sloan and name. Your life is just ridiculous. You've done so many cool things. The official called up and said he could not get the ball back to Bama. I was actually on the field for that game. I felt so bad because I knew Patrick Peterson. Like, we weren't like friends, but like I would talk to him when I would see him. He's such an interesting guy. One of my dream PHL guests. Pick any LSU game in 95, and I'll tell you what happened. 90s LSU football, I obviously rely on you guys for that. Let's see. You got a spot at the tailgate for me? Where you set up at? I'll just invite everybody in here. I'm just kidding. But yeah, shoot me a message. Let me know where you're setting up. I kind of want to go. Oh, since 95. John Sibley's like, that's yesterday. All eyes on me. He's not even dressing out now, Blaine, so probably not. But if he gets healthy, I could see him getting in a game. UAB would be a good spot for him. Yeah, he could still be hurt, right? They do look cool, not gonna lie. His chance, his avatar's been the same. We couldn't quite, get the t-shirt thing. We got to get Chance at a PHL shirt. That is he's waiting to get a shirt. That's why he doesn't have a shirt on in his photo. LSU's playing for a Tennessee rematch. No. They're different teams. The issue for Mississippi State is their receivers can't get open. If you don't have guys that can get open versus Bama, you're just not going to do anything. Their run defense is so good. Aaron, right now it is more likely that I'll be at the Alabama or at the Arkansas game than the Alabama game. Obviously the only game I went to this year was a Florida State game to start the year. But yeah, thinking about coming down for the Alabama game. I don't know if I'll actually go to the game. So yeah. In the chat right now, write how old you were in 1995. Congrats, Chance. That's good, man. Well, if you were trying to lose weight, that's good. Tony was 14. Jared, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you and your friendship. Enjoyed our conversation earlier today. $13. Hal was 15. Kiddo was swimming. Roger was 1. Blanche was 150. 21, 28, 12. Brandon 14. Tyler 13. You were swimming too. 4, 7, 26, 21. You were the one that made me ask. And by Sac, you mean Sacramento, California. Very interesting. Dang, Blaine, that's interesting. I've been to probably 15 games, 15 and LSU has never lost when you've attended. Happy birthday to you, Tony the Tiger. Jared said you didn't go in the 90s yet. LSU football started in 2000. Well, the truth is, Jordan, LSU football played until 1960 and then didn't start playing again until 2002. By Raging Cajuns? Nine-ish. Arkansas killed that last year. Dang. Still pretty good. If LSU beats Bama, UT beats Georgia. LSU beat UT. Is Georgia the only team that gets in? So, glad you brought this up, Blanche. We actually did a video on this on Power Hour SEC, the new SEC channel. And I'm super glad you brought it up here because I want to talk about the wacky playoff scenarios, okay? Now, let's say you're a neutral observer and you're not a fan of LSU, you're not a fan of anything here, okay? If you want chaos in the college football playoff, you want LSU to win out. If you're a fan of chaos, you want LSU to win out. Okay? Because if LSU wins out, you have the Tennessee debacle, right? Because let's say Tennessee loses to Georgia, right? The funny thing is, if LSU does indeed win out, if you're Tennessee, you're in really good shape, whether you lose or you win. So if for some reason you're a Tennessee fan listening to this right now, you want LSU to win out. Because if you rematch LSU and you lose, well, more than likely your only loss is going to be versus, well, nobody. If you win out to the SEC championship game, you're automatically getting in, right? But it is interesting, Blanche, because there are a lot of undefeateds this year in college football. I do think it would have behooved the SEC had Syracuse not choked away the game versus Clemson this past weekend. But obviously, if Clemson goes undefeated, they'll get in. If Ohio State goes undefeated or Michigan, they'll get in. No matter what, the Big Ten champion, whether it be Ohio State or Michigan, is probably going to get in. Okay? If USC wins out with one loss, they have a good, case as well as TCU, if for some reason TCU is able to run the table here, and a few other Big 12 teams. So obviously, for as many SEC teams that could get in, a lot of it is going to come down to what happens in the other conferences. Now, what's very interesting, Blanche, on an even more macro scale, is if you are the college football powers that be, if you're Greg Sankey, if you're any one of those people, you want LSU to win out for this reason. You want to say, look, there needs to be more than 4 teams in a college football playoff. And this is the perfect example. You have LSU, who is the SEC champion. They're playing the best football at anybody in the country. And you have Tennessee, who beat LSU earlier this year, and they also beat Alabama, and they also beat Georgia, and they also beat LSU. It's crazy, these scenarios here. And it's good. It's good for college football. College football needs more chaos. We don't need more Bama dominance. We don't need more Ohio State, Georgia dominance. You should want Tennessee to beat Georgia. You should want Tennessee to win out. So we'll see. Bro, I don't want to be mean, but Alabama's going to hammer LSU. We lost because of penalties and blown coverages. Now that we got Eli Rick starting and our wide receivers are healthy, it's a wrap. Okay, let's dissect this. Could Alabama hammer LSU? Yeah, they're 16.5-point favorites. They've got a bunch of first-round picks. They're a really good team, and Nick's been a great coach. And look, he's done well versus Brian Kelly. But let's take this piece by piece. The penalties and the mistakes and the bonehead mistakes haven't stopped. Sure, you had one game against a dominant an overvalued Mississippi State team. Who cares? You had a bunch of blown coverages versus Tennessee. Well, a lot of that's because Tennessee has a good offense and they have good receivers. LSU right now, while their offense isn't as good as Tennessee, they got great receivers. Eli Ricks is a really good player. He does make you better. But yes, your wide receivers are healthy, but how good are they? Tell me right now, Levi, in a big matchup this year. I'm not talking about, Utah State. In a big game this year, point to me when the Bama wide receivers were excellent. The Tennessee game does not count. A lot of that was Bryce Young throwing people open and extending plays. I am very concerned from a Bama perspective about your receivers. This is not a typical Alabama receiver core. So the penalties, I don't know if that's going to get fixed. The mental mistakes, I don't know if that's going to get fixed. Blown coverages, that'll probably get fixed at some point. And Eli Ricks does make you better. Because we didn't have Bryce. Well, you had Bryce versus Texas. Couldn't get open. You couldn't. Okay. You got open against Arkansas. They had 3 people out of their secondary hurt. They had the worst secondary in the SEC. There still hadn't been a game. Tennessee, you couldn't get open. My point, he's thrown them open, right? A lot of it is him extending plays and finding people open. Now, I'm not saying Bama's receivers aren't great, and I'm not saying LSU's defensive backs are Patrick Peterson and Tyrann Mathieu out there, but I think even you would agree, unless, you think Ja'Cory Brooks is Devonta Smith. I just don't think these are Bama's best receivers. In fact, I think this is Nick's worst receiving group, and maybe since he got his first national championship. Okay. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs is really freaking good. And, Booker and that young offensive line, they're playing better. But we'll see. Oh, Devin White's getting exposed tonight? Oh, come on, Mike. Don't tell me that. I love it. Tigers will skull drag Bama. Let's go, Larry. Huh? I hope you're right, man. Hope you're right. So, should LSU rush the field versus Alabama? Let's hear from the GOAT.
I was really surprised. I mean, I didn't expect it. I was doing an interview, and the state police, grabbed me and said, "We got to go." And I was like, I didn't think the interview was that bad, and no, they were coming over the wall, and I just was surprised, It didn't appear to me that there was anything in my mind that this would be a game where we would storm the field. But hey, let's do more of it, I guess. Hope I don't get in trouble for that. Probably, yeah. That's going viral. Is it? Damn. All right, let's do more of it. The commissioner's going to get me. I don't mean to do it. I mean, let's win more. Thank you for correcting me. I meant it in all seriousness that we want to win more. That's all I meant. Thank you. It's an off week. I can be off too.
Woo! Rush the field. Rush it. So I had a conversation earlier. I've been thinking about this all day. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong on this. Okay. Because I had some really good gumbo earlier today. And I didn't think it was going to be good. I like the jacket as well. But, and I promise we'll get into more LSU football stuff. But Levi is saying Brian Kelly is a joke. Has he beaten Saban before? Like, that's an insult. Oh, my goodness. Brian Kelly is a joke because he's not beaten the greatest college football coach of all time. Please. Let me guess. Charles Barkley sucks. You want to know why? Because he never beat Michael Jordan in an NBA Finals series. He's never. He sucks. Charles Barkley, he's awful. Awful at basketball. He's a joke. He's a joke. Cosmos! Oh, man. He's had good players. But can I share this food take really quickly? I have a feeling gumbo is hard to make. I'm not a chef. And I'm not going to say gumbo itself is like just super hard to make. But I also think gumbo is very easy to screw up, right? Like, for instance, if you bake a lasagna is a lot of work. You got to go to like 5 different sections to get all the ingredients. But let's be honest, you've never really had a bad lasagna, right? Like, lasagna doesn't just suck, right? Lasagna is high floor food, right? Really good ceiling, lasagna is really good, but lasagna is hard to mess up. It just requires effort. Gumbo is a low floor, high food, right? Gumbo, if you're going to somebody's house and saying, hey, we're making gumbo, that's a leap of faith for you to go to that party, right? They could have messed up the roux. There's a lot of things that could screw up a gumbo, right? And I don't know if you've seen these horror stories on the internet, but like people showing videos, hey, here's our gumbo. And it looks like soup and there's noodles in it. So I feel like lasagna has high floor. It's a lot of work, but it's hard to mess up. I'm feeling gumbo is low floor. A lot of work, very easy to mix up. Oh, Skipper, look at that. Huh? Frozen lasagna is as good as any. Chef Leandria, what's up? Let's go to Max. Carter, they didn't teach you to not engage with the Gump man. They had their sister wives, and Saban most even can't name their last head coach. Huh? Man, who was the last coach before Saban? I'm honestly drawing a blank. I remember going to the bowl game, Alabama versus Oklahoma State in Shreveport. That's crazy. I remember that game. Dang, T-Bach. Children's Hospital New Orleans have bad lasagna. That's a random shout out for the lasagna conversation. There's Mike Shula. That's right. It should have been Rich Rodriguez, honestly. I got lucky with that. Orgy cum laude. Children's Hospital in New Orleans has bad lasagna. I kind of want to go now to see what the deal is. The Buccaneers suck. Maybe it's not Brady. Maybe Todd Bowles isn't a good coach. I don't know. Maybe it is Tom. TV box dinners are bomb. I'm sorry. Master Blaster said, look, I showed off my impressive Halloween collection. So I am ready to knock the F out. Huh? Let me check the score. Oh, dang. They're down by 2 possessions. That's crazy. So D-Bach. That's true. Welcome to the channel, D-Bach. Jimbo was not a great decision. So, Danny girl, good to see you. The Master Blaster. What's up with Jackson? River? I don't know what's going on, but no, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Tennessee's. I'm down with Tennessee. Why are we bullying Levi right now? I don't get that at all. I will block anybody that bullies Levi. That will not happen here. Now, we are approaching the 2-hour mark here. If you super chat, we'll keep this party moving all night long. Okay? In the next 5 minutes, I'll answer as many LSU-related questions as I possibly can. Kind of curious what the over in this game was. That was 46. Very interesting. Yeah, but what did Levi say to you guys? That I don't know. I miss comments. It's not principle. I'm just not going to let anybody. What offensive players play a big role? We could all assume they'll double cover KB7. I think Taylor Goodwin will all play big roles. Armani had a good game. I do think Josh has just played so well right now. I also think keep an eye out for John Emery. What's up, Danny girl? Any big news? Well, I spent a lot of time talking about Jayden, talking about some of the stuff there's some points you were mentioning earlier in the year, actually, about how much Jayden's improved and how much we love his intangibles and all of that. Nothing really big on the recruiting front, and nothing really big like news wise. Obviously, LSU had their final workout, and they're enjoying their bye week. So, yeah. Let's go. So, Scrappo, as far as like advantages for LSU, I think it was Jackson or somebody else that brought this up as far as like, LSU's advantages. Obviously, being at home is going to be an evident one. One big advantage LSU has, obviously, is their wide receiving group going up against their DBs. But I do think, if I'm Matt House, I'm throwing a lot of different looks at Bryce Young. That worked really well for us last year. So we'll see. Let's Let's go, Aaron. So, Danny, a few more things we talked about a little bit earlier. Obviously, you heard the jumbo lasagna debate. Gumbo lasagna debate. We also talked a lot about Texas A&M. I know you, Danny, in particular, have enjoyed Texas A&M's downfall here. I read this in your voice, Danny. Love a Texas A&M fall from glory. Wait. Oh, that's so funny. I never understood the troll thing, though. Like, I don't think I honestly never really peek in on other like live streams. I just don't. So yeah, I guess that's just me, honestly. Yeah, Aaron, I do remember you telling me this. And I actually made a mistake. I made the same mistake you did here, Aaron. Like, we're getting married soon after my birthday, which is so stupid. It's so stupid. Never do that. Huh? Aaron, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've never met your wife. Obviously, I've met you. Your wife is a goddess. Like, I don't know personality wise. I'm sure she's wonderful. I talked to her on the phone when we hung out. But still, that red velvet milkshake is still like the most delicious thing. I swear. Oh my God. Man, it was crazy. So I'm going to share the story really quickly because it is kind of funny. Aaron actually brought them to the restaurant, if you will. He brought the milkshakes, and he told the waitress to if they could put them back in the fridge, and she did. Oh, she was so sweet. And the fact that happened was like, oh my God. So what's funny is we almost forgot them, and we went back and got them, and I ate them, and it was just it was just the most delicious thing. My goodness. It was so good. PMAC, I'll do one tonight. I'll do an hour-long film study right now if you super chat $100. But no, I probably will do one. I got invited to 0 Halloween parties this year. I guess I am. D-Bot, thank you so much. The foundation of winning programs and struggles of the first season of with new coaches. Third season will tell all. I see something special along the way. D-Bot, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate you, man. I hope to see you around more often, man. You're right. The third season is normally the year you want to really see the ball moving, right? And look, 3's been the magical number at LSU. Orgeron won his title third year in. Les won his title third year in. Nick won his title, I think, fourth year in. 3. Honestly, though, I think year 2 is going to set up really nicely as in next year for LSU. Really nicely for them to make a run. That was such a funny soundbite. It really was. Okay, I'm gonna check out the Twitter gumbo post after this live stream. I just looked and saw 1,000 messages. I do. But yes, D-Bike, I really do believe this. Year 3 is normally a good year. What y'all think? Y'all like the new haircut? Look at that, man. Your boy looking fresh and so clean. Going to the engagement party with my fiance this weekend. The other lady's going to be like, ooh, boy, you so fine. They won't actually say that. But they will say, boy, you look so fine. I was like, okay. I'm already taken, though. Do it, PMAC. Drop that hundo. I'll start the film study right now. I'll pull up the clips right now. That's so cool, Frank Gore's son. Huh? 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 John's had a good year, though, D-Bach. John's had a good year. Tennessee game was numbers didn't look great. He broke a lot of tackles. Auburn game was phenomenal. John's doing fine. Now, of course, we want to see him build on that. Ooh. So Chris had a convo with Van about this earlier today. If y'all want to know what the next big trend in college football is going to be, I'll share it with you right now. Okay. So there's an idea out there that if you hold your kid back, it's better for them academically and athletically, right? Because if you are just a little bit older, studies have shown that you will outperform everybody else in your grade. And if you actually, J. Bud Davis did a chart on this, but it would take a lot of work to see historically if older recruits are rated higher than younger recruits. But what I think is going to happen is, especially in football, kids are going to get held back a grade, like around like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, maybe even younger than that. And then when they become juniors in high school, if they get enough love from colleges and if they are good enough, they'll reclassify and be seniors and ready to go. So your biological clock isn't held back, right? Because look, if you play a non-quarterback, non-kicker position, getting to the NFL as quick as you possibly can is very important, right? Especially if you play running back or defensive back or wide receiver, positions that require, great deals of athleticism, right? Where there is such a precipitous downfall. So I think there's going to be a lot of reclassifications. I really do think so. And that's smart. It is very smart to do that, right? You want to be older. If I would oh man. I'm telling you, it's huge. Huge. The Saints are in talks with the Eagles to trade Alvin Kamara. I saw that. I don't know. I mean, how much more are the Eagles going to dominate the Saints? I mean, my God. It's kind of funny how this is like working out because like the New Orleans NBA franchise holds the Lakers pick, but the New Orleans football franchise is going to have a good pick that's going to the Eagles. Just gotta, yeah, Tommy, you've been working a bunch at night. I know you messaged her, you've been supporting me on Twitter and Instagram a bunch. I appreciate it, but it's where I want you, man. Tell Tracy I said hello. You've been working a lot of nights lately. I don't know if I like that. I might, Tommy, if you want. In fact, I could send you an invite link. You could jump on this live stream, and your boss can too. So what I want you to do, and you might not be working nights. You might not just be watching me a whole lot anymore. But what I can do is I could put your boss live, and it's only 123 people, not that many. And we could have a conversation about freeing up your Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I'm going to be like, look, Tommy has a wonderful wife, Tracy, and we need Tommy here. I'm drinking a what's in this? Danny, please tell me you're still in here so she could just destroy me for this. This Scarlet Letter drink, okay, the name of the company is Scarlet Letter, has black cherry, almond, ginger, and key lime. That is my kind of drink. What's up? What's up, J. Lou? Good to see you, man. One of my best friends' name is John Lewis. And obviously, one of the most important Americans to ever live. His name was John Lewis. But your name is Jonathan Lewis. Good to see you, man. John Lewis, a historic name. I need Danny in here. Danny, show yourself. She might already went to bed. Got tired of me already. Oh, there you are. Need my beauty sleep. Extra right now. Wait, why would the Buccaneers go for it here if you still need 2 possessions? Oh, they got in. Huh? Oh. That's crazy. Why would they? I would. And now the 2 point. Oh, he dropped it. Huh? That's crazy. You like PBR? Hunter, I'm taking a little bit of an off week. I normally don't, but I have an engagement party. So stupid. Don't tell Helly that. I'm kidding. The engagement party is going to be fun. My best buddy from Fayetteville is coming in. So Danny went to bed. She went to bed. She missed out. So what I think the Buccaneers are going to do, for those that are watching in the background, I think they're going to run here. Yep. Oh, nasty. I thought that they would run here. That was a good call right there by Baltimore. Oh, man. What happened? Nothing was there. I mean, it was just... down block. I was just blown up. What, you were supposed to go? There you go. Got somebody on the Shelton Sampson hype train. I like it. Onside kick. What I think the NFL is going to do is ban onside kicks, and they're going to do the 4th and 12 from the 25-yard line. Yeah, if you're a Saints fan, if Baltimore is able to hold on, you'll be all right. Ball game. Likely. That's some crazy good hands right there. That's true. That's the first time Tom Brady's been 2 games under 500 as a starter. That's a crazy stat. Uh, I'm reading up on this Cormani McLean stuff. I just look at all this data all the time. It's not necessarily like individual players, but I'll look at charts all day. Oh, Utah's playing tonight? Let's go. Definitely gotta check that out. I like watching. Oh, Cam Rising isn't playing. Why isn't Cam Rising playing? I don't know, Sibley. I don't know. He might be done for the year, according to some. I love this joke. God, I love this joke. I'd be down. Somebody that watches the channel says they're from New Road. Sent me a message. Yeah, Chris, you got the logo thing solved. I appreciate your help with that. It's just hard. I mean, I'm so bad at putting together like new merch plans and all kinds of stuff. It's hard. So but yeah, I just love this joke. Huh? Yeah. You want your hat? Getting them printed. But yeah, it's just a lot. I need to hire somebody. I need to hire an intern or something. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and sign off. I'm worn out. And yeah. I don't know if we're going to do a video tomorrow. We'll see. Don't forget, please go like and subscribe the brand new, I say brand new, we've done 23 episodes, free PHL podcast. Also, if you can, please go subscribe to Power Hour SEC. As you can see, I think a lot of you remember a few months ago when we were at 21 subscribers. See now, 706. Please go subscribe. Obviously, 1,000 is the big number. So there you go. All right, Hal, if you want to join the PHL T-shirt club, remember, I singled out this card for you. You know, Jeremy Hill is a big part of what we're building here. Shoot me an email. You can send it there, Hal, or you can send it to powerhourlsu@gmail.com, and we'll get you squared away. It is Power Hour LSU. Bam! And tonight, we're doing some lasagna. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Big thanks to our top super chatter of the night, John Sibley Butler. Also, Mr. Mackin stepped it up tonight as well. Thank you so much. And we'll talk soon. Let's go. Let's go.